Disney removes chairman to focus on big challenge to repair LGBTQ plus community relationship. Disney fired CEO Bob Chapek after less than 2 years on the job and brought back former CEO Bob Iger. With his return as CEO, Bob Iger faces tough decisions about how to boost Disney's bottom line. But how he handles the next chapter in the Don't Say Gay fight with Florida will have more far-reaching consequences. Does he double down on LGBTQ rights, or does he try to appease the Florida GOP to avoid further legal or political disputes? Disney was in trouble for donating to DeSantis' campaign and to numerous lawmakers who had sponsored the Don't Say Gay bill. After that, the company had to take many remedial measures. In the midst of the Don't Say Gay controversy, Chapek, the then CEO, pledged $5 million in donations to the Human Rights Campaign and other LGBTQ plus groups. The company internally also had showrunners and other executives promise in video conferences with employees to promote representation for LGBTQ plus characters in shows as part of a not-so-secret gay agenda. Notably, Iger never shied from politics. He firmly criticized the Don't Say Gay bill as potentially harmful to kids. Disney, under Iger, also provided support to the Orlando community after the Pulse nightclub shooting. Disney, under Iger's last 15-year stint as CEO, fully embraced annual celebrations as parks such as Gay Days. Appointing Iger back as a head is widely expected to be positive for both the company and the LGBTQ plus community. Listen, Disney doesn't do anything half-assed, folks, all right? They have a whole team of legal people and really smart geniuses that are like, okay, what can we do to fix this? We effed up, and that's the truth. They did up, you know? $5 million is nothing. It's chump change to them, all right? But they brought back someone who actually did try to represent us, who really did try to have our back, so to speak. Maybe if Iger would have been in that seat during Don't Say Gay's primary times, things would have been different right now. You know, Disney knows what they're doing. I'd love to know how much extra money they had to pay Iger to come back, right? Because, I mean, come on.
That's the real story.
Well, I haven't seen it yet, but the new animated Disney feature, Strange World, features its first out gay teen character, Ethan Clade, and he's voiced by gay comedian actor Jabuki Young White.
Yes.
And then also there's an upcoming movie next month called Darby and the Dead, which is directed by trans filmmaker Silas Howard. So it's an indication that they are putting their money behind it. They are representing the community.
There's a couple of facts that I think are really important here. Let me use a sports metaphor because I know how much you like sports.
Greg's gonna be lost now.
He's going to be telling a sports story. If your quarterback of your team fumbles and fumbles and fumbles, what does the team do with the quarterback? They replace him. They fire him and replace him. That's exactly what Disney did. Disney did this literally in the middle of the night. This caught everybody by surprise. Chapek basically fumbled over and over again. First off, to even try to be in bed with DeSantis was a tremendous mistake. Whether you like him or you hate him or whatever it is in between, for him to embrace him in the way he embraced him is what began the end for Chapek, one of his major fumbles. Then probably he fumbled very significantly in his over-response back to us. $5 million to the HRC, his voicing up, etc. So he takes on DeSantis in the least positive way he could possibly politically take on DeSantis. So he pisses the LGBTQ community off, which, by the way, means their employees, because it's the largest queer employer in the world. And then he pisses all of the radical Republicans off in the way he tried to compensate for it. Fumble after fumble after fumble. Iger, completely different. I'm long-term Floridian. I have followed Iger closely. He has managed the Disney Corporation in his leadership as chairman just incredibly, not only from creative, which they did absolutely brilliant, in terms of controlling Universal NBC and other, the Netflix and other things, but also from the politics for LGBT. He was unequivocal. He didn't do it for political motivation. He didn't do it for, oh, it's good for Disney to be embracing this way. No, this is exactly how I feel about Don't Say Gay. He came out with no skin in the game to say, this is wrong and here's why. And he didn't talk about the politics of Disney. He talked about children, over and over and over again. That moral voice comes back. If you can be moral and a CEO of a major mega corporation.
I want to go back to that a little bit because I want to be a little cynical because at the end of the day, Disney is a massive corporation.
Entertainment, yeah.
And being anti-LGBTQ is bad for business.
Right.
Yeah.
There is no question. That is, I agree that leadership.
Unless
of course,
you're at
matters.
Fox News.
Well, right. Then that's your business and being anti-gay.
Right?
But
That's how you get a promotion.
But I mean, there is something to be said, right? That I think they're learning their lesson. Like Fay said from the start, right? They did their marketing. They did their, how much they had to pay him to come back. No doubt leadership matters, and whether, it takes a partisan kind of, it's articulated that way or not, but certainly it's also bad for business. And I think it's not insignificant for us to remember and know that gays are good consumers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious to that point. The news about Iger coming back as CEO in Disney, that affects every LGBT person in America. It either affects you in terms of what you're seeing on television, what you're seeing in movies. It affects you in terms of what they do, that other competitors in entertainment follow them to say, wait, this is an acceptable image that we want to continue to promote, which is what your point was. And it affects us in Florida in terms of the business. They're the largest employer by far in the state of Florida, employing more queer people by far than anyone else. So this affects us. This chairman change affects our community.
Absolutely.
Do you think Disney is going to get better with the change?
Absolutely. I know that Iger had said a lot of things about Chapek when he was silent about the Don't Say Gay. And earlier I had said a small group of people can make a change. And a group of 200 of us went up to Orlando.
To the gates.
And we were at the gates and we were protesting while simultaneously in California.
News
Yes,
doing
I
that,
did.
by
I was
the
on the
way.
front page.
Right.
So, yeah, it was a pretty amazing experience. But he just kept on fluffing it. And it's really horrible to have to pressure somebody to do the right thing.
Yeah.
But corporations, businesses, we have to pressure them
100%.
100%. So I think he's gonna really help with. He's gonna
Thank you
step
for
up
doing
for
that,
sure.
for having done that.
Of course.
For sure.
It was
course.
one, and in fact, we lost, by the way. It's 2022. We're getting ready to close the year. We lost in Florida. Not only did we lose Don't Say Gay and the Woke Act and the issues, we lose Carlos Guillermo Smith. He was cannon fodder of what happened. We lost the midterms here in Florida. We were the worst results in America. Who would have ever thought that Florida would be the worst results in America? However, there's a silver lining that ran every place else. All of the election deniers and all of the other things, the Democrats did very well. The Republicans, especially the radical crazies like Boebert in California or in Colorado, wins with 250,000 votes by only 500.
Wow.
She is one of the worst. The only thing worse was Marjorie Taylor Greene. They all got shook to their core. So that's good news
We have to keep
for Florida.
Keep our eye on Georgia too.
And we have hopes for Georgia too, but this is a good sign that Disney has made this change, and it's a good sign for the LGBT.
We need good signs. On to the next thing.
LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Laura are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ plus community.